You are 22. The will has just been read. There is no will, no estate, no trust waiting, nothing is coming. No grandfather, no family business, no door waiting to open just because of who you are. You sit alone in a small apartment, the refrigerator humming too loudly, the floor cold beneath your feet. Your checking account holds $843. That is everything you have to your name today. Rent is due in 11 days. Rent is $1,300. The number on your screen is 843. You do the math twice. The math does not change. You are short by $457. Half of every person in this country inherits nothing. Statistically, you are sitting inside that half right now. For everyone who does inherit something, the median amount is around $50,000 in a single lifetime. Most of it lands in your 50s. Too late to compound, too late to change the shape of your life. You see that story in movies, a country house, a quiet inheritance, a family business handed down at 25. That story exists. It is real. It is just not the story you are sitting inside of right now. This should crush you. For most, it does. You spend 40 years resenting an inheritance that does not exist. You do not have time for that. Rent is still due in 11 days. The math is still the same. Everything you ever have, you build. The deal starts the day you stop waiting for a door to open. You start reading. Not the books your friends read, the boring ones, the ones with the actual charts. The median net worth of an American under 35 hovers around $39,000 in total assets. The top 10% at the same age sit north of $700,000. That is the gap. The gap is not talent. It is not work ethic. It is the starting capital. It is time itself. You have less than one. You still have all of the other in front of you to spend. You did not get a 30-year head start. No portfolio quietly compounding for you in the background. But you are 22. That means decades. That means the time the wealthy cannot buy back from you. You have the longest, most undervalued runway in personal finance, and almost no one your age sees it. You sit at the kitchen table. You open a plain notebook. You begin to write down a number, $2.5 million, the amount you need to never feel this scared at night again. It is enormous. It is, in this moment, almost laughable to you. You stare at it anyway. Above the number, you write 4 clean block capital words. I built it all. The deal is signed. You close the notebook. The runway opens. 11 days until rent. $843 to start. You take the first job that pays the bills. $42,000 a year. Not the dream, the survival. It is the runway job. The one that buys you the right to plan the next move quietly. After federal tax, after state tax, after payroll deductions, you do not yet understand. You take home $2,800. Rent eats $1,300 every single month. That is 46% of your take-home gone, instantly. Groceries cost $350. Utilities take $150. Transit takes another $250. Phone, $80. Health insurance copay, $150. $200 for what you cannot predict. A flat tire, a broken charger, a friend's birthday dinner. The unpredictable always finds a gap somewhere. You are left, if absolutely nothing breaks, with about $320 at month's end. $320 feels like nothing. It feels like nothing at all. It is nothing. Before that money can leak away into brunch, bar tabs, the impulse buy on a phone screen, you do something almost no one your age does. You move the money before you can touch it. $250, automatic transfer, straight into a low-cost, broad market S&P 500 index fund. $70 more into a separate high-yield savings account, clearly labeled emergency. Locked. Out of sight. Always. The first month, the brokerage shows $250. The compounding has not started yet. The second month, the balance reads $503. The gain is just deposits stacking on deposits. It looks insulting, like a wall built one brick at a time while the storm is already arriving. You keep stacking anyway. One brick, one transfer, one paycheck, one quiet decision repeated every single month. The math, when it finally arrives, does not feel like math at all to you. It feels like discovery. It feels like a secret. A door no one ever told you was sitting open inside your bank app. $250 a month, every single month, invested into a broad market index fund automatically, earning the historical real return of about 7% annually after inflation, decade after decade after decade. It becomes a number you have to read twice. The first time, you do not believe what you see. After 10 years, $43,000 from $320 paychecks, from the leftover crumbs. After 20 years, $130,000. The deposits are now smaller than the gains. After 30 years, $306,000. The curve starts bending sharply upward beneath you. After 40 years, $655,000 from the same paychecks you almost spent on takeout. But this is the part that quietly breaks most people. The part that the wealthy already learn early. The same $250 a month, started at $35 instead of $25, becomes only $130,000. 10 years of waiting costs you $525,000. $500,000, gone, permanently. Not because the money is different, because the time is different. Every year delayed is the most expensive. Time is not a bonus. Time is the asset. The years are the lever, not the deposits. The last decade of compounding produces more growth than the first three combined. The end pays everything off. You stop seeing the $250 as a sacrifice. You see it as a payment forward, a payment to the version of you that will exist later. You are not poor. You are early. Then you remember the part you have been quietly avoiding for months. The folder, on the table. The student loan. $31,000 at 6.5%. The number does not move. The credit card you opened in college. $4,200 at 22% APR. Bleeding interest. These do not arrive in any will. But you inherit them all the same way. Quietly. Permanently. Inherited from a system that hands 18-year-olds six-figure decisions and quietly calls it opportunity instead. Compounding does not only work for you, it works against you, harder, faster, on the wrong side. The S&P returns about 7% annually. Your credit card charges 22. The math is brutal. Carry that balance 1 year and you have lost more than the index fund earns in 3. You do something cold, deliberate, and mechanical. You list every debt by interest rate, highest to lowest. The credit card goes on top of the list. 22% makes it the worst offender. You take every dollar above the minimums and throw it at the worst one until it dies. Then you turn to the next debt, then the next. The avalanche moves only in one direction. The student loan, at 6.5%, gets minimums only. No more, no less. Your investments at 7% beat it just barely. You cannot afford to pause the runway either. This is the avalanche method. The only debt strategy the math actually supports for your situation here. The credit card dies in 14 months. The first chain breaks. The bleeding finally stops cold. You stop owing. You stop bleeding on the wrong side. You start building toward the right. 3 years in, you realize something quietly devastating. Saving alone never frees you. Not even close. $500 a month, 30 years, 7%. $612,000 total. Comfortable. Respectable. Not generational. Not free. The savings rate alone never breaks the ceiling above you. The savings rate is the floor of your life. The income is the ceiling of your life. You stop optimizing coffee. The $4 latte is not the reason you are not yet free. You start optimizing salary instead, where the real money lives, where the ceiling actually moves upward. Staying at one job earns the standard cost of living raise, about 3% annually, sometimes even less. Switching jobs every 2 to 3 years averages closer to 14% per upward career move. The highest paid in your field are rarely the most talented. The askers come out ahead. 42,000 becomes 65 at the next job. The leap is not magic. The leap is documented. 65 becomes 88. Skill upgrade, deliberate move, willingness to sit through one uncomfortable salary negotiation cycle. 88 becomes 120,000. Most people never have that conversation. You have it. Every 2 years, one uncomfortable email, one quiet ask, one number written down in cold black ink. The savings rate climbs from 11 to 25 to 30%. The crumbs are now a strategy. The dollars you invest each month are no longer leftover crumbs of a paycheck. They are a strategy. The W-2 dollar is the most expensive in this country. It is taxed before you touch it. What is left, you live on. What you do not spend, you save quietly into your accounts. The business dollar, however, is taxed last. You earn it. You deduct legitimate expenses. Tax follows after. The legal structure of wealth here favors the owner over the W-2 employee. Always has. Quietly. Nobody sat you down to explain that. The people who already know simply already know it well. You start small. A skill you already have, sold on the side for cash, weekends and evenings. The first month, the side hustle earns you absolutely nothing at all. $0. You keep going. The third month, $600 lands in your account. Real money, real validation, real signal. By year 2, $1,500 a month. Steady, predictable. The side starts feeling like work. By year 4, you are weighing whether the side has now outgrown the main job entirely. 90% of small businesses fail within 10 years. You read that statistic carefully and continue. You refuse to quit at month 18. That is what separates the 10% from the rest. You do not quit your job until the side has consistently out-earned it for 12 full months. You are not romantic about entrepreneurship at all. You are sure about it. Numbers, not feelings, decide. Then the day arrives. The side has outgrown the main. You sign the resignation letter calmly. Then it comes. It always comes for you. The setback, the storm, the number you cannot predict. The layoff is announced in a 15-minute meeting at 10 in the morning. No warning, no notice. The market drops 30% in 8 weeks. Your investments are bleeding red across every account. The medical bill does not match any number in any health insurance plan you have ever read. In 2008, the crash wiped out 40% of all American household wealth in 18 months. In 2020, the lockdowns took 22 million jobs in 2 months. Statistically, you face one too. At least one event in your working life is capable of ending everything you quietly build over decades. It does not end you, because the wall stands already, built brick by brick before the storm arrives. 6 months of expenses sitting in cash, in a high-yield account, locked away, untouched, just waiting. The investments you do not sell, the debt you no longer carry, the skills that move with you. The setback is not the difference between the rich and the poor in your life. The wall is. 20 years in, you look at the numbers, and you almost do not recognize them anymore. The investments are clear. $400,000. The compounding has finally entered its steepest decade upward. The mortgage is one of the cheap, fixed-rate kinds, paid down for 9 consecutive years now. The business clears more in a single quarter than the first job pays you across a full year. The emergency fund has never been touched once. 6 months sitting there. A wall finally finished. The credit cards die at zero balance every single month, automatically, without thought, without effort, without strain. But the spreadsheet number is not actually what you build across these 20 long, compounding years. What you build is something the spreadsheet cannot show. You can walk away from any job today. You can move to any city. You can live in any country. You can take any contract. You can say no to any client, any boss, any relationship that costs more than it returns. That is what wealth actually is. Not the cars in the driveway, the optionality of your time, the door the rich kid is born with. You manufacture for yourself, dollar by quiet dollar. There is one last thing the spreadsheet does not show, the thing that outlasts you completely now. The kid you raise begins somewhere else, not at the empty envelope, not at $800. The house, the investments, the business, the emergency fund, all of it transfers to your child. Far more important than any object, the playbook itself transfers forward. The exact one you write. The will that gets read 50 years from now has your name on the very first page. You are the document. You are the estate. You are the trust that finally exists for someone. You are the first generation. The one who stops waiting for a door that does not open. You inherit nothing. You build everything. From $843 and a closed envelope. That is the deal. The one you sign the day you stop waiting for someone else.